Noch ein paar Pixel schubsen. Ich habe hier noch das eine Bild von Vitali, was ich fertig machen möchte. Bisschen was habe ich heute schon getan. Ja, aber wir das fertig machen. Ja, wenn ihr dann irgendwann zuschaltet und dabei seid, ich stelle euch wieder für alle möglichen Fragen zur Verfügung. Nicht nur zu Photoshop, auch zu dem Beruf eines Retouchers oder Designers, Art Directors, was ihr wollt. Ja, in der Zwischenzeit fange ich an und wenn dann irgendwann Fragen aufkommen, sagt Bescheid. Ich krieg das ja mit. Dann gehe ich gern drauf ein. Und so, was ich hier schon gemacht habe, ich habe bereits mit der Grundretusche angefangen, also so ein paar Dinge geschehen im Gesicht. Und das Hauptding, was ich bisher gemacht habe, war dieser Leaf Blower, mit dem wir seine Haare gestylt haben. Und den habe ich wegbekommen, indem ich da einfach drüber gestempelt habe. Und das Besondere hier ist, die Kante habe ich eigentlich mit einem Pfad weggemacht. Und Pfade sind ja eigentlich hart in der Kante. Aber ich habe bei den Eigenschaften des Pfades habe ich eine weiche Kante eingestellt. Und schon sieht das ganz gut aus hier. Da entspricht das ungefähr der Weichzeichnung, die durch das Objektiv entstanden ist. Durch die Blende. Genau. So, jetzt werde ich mich noch ein bisschen um das Gesicht kümmern. So viel muss man hier gar nicht machen. Ich werde nochmal den Schmuck bearbeiten. In der Zwischenzeit ist tatsächlich mein Video fertig geworden. Ich habe noch eine Startanimation gemacht, falls ich mal irgendwie nicht Punkt 21 Uhr loslegen kann. Sehr schön. Fertig geworden. Die wird es dann bald zu sehen geben. Das werde ich mal eben noch einstellen. Das seht ihr jetzt gerade. Und ich werde einfach mal die Animation ändern. Dann seht ihr, was passieren würde, wenn ihr zeitiger einschaltet. Sieht ganz genauso aus, nur ein anderer Text. Er will das gar nicht. Doch, so sieht es denn aus. Und jetzt zurück zu Photoshop. Das war's auch schon. Ich bin damit leider nicht mehr fertig geworden, bevor der Stream losging. So, ich werde jetzt hier noch ein paar Sachen bereinigen. Ich hatte ja schon angefangen. Das ist leider immer eher suboptimal, weil man da nicht alles sieht. Ja, und ich freue mich jetzt tatsächlich auch endlich aufs Wochenende. Auch aber recht anstrengend. Was gibt es Schöneres, als den Freitagabend mit sowas einzuleiten? Ein wenig Retusche. So, und ich habe heute auch schon Beschwerden bekommen wegen der Musik im Stream. Die kann ich nur so halb beeinflussen, weil ich auf die Stream-Bibliothek von Twitch zurückgreife, weil die Sachen ja lizenzfrei sein sollten. Da diese Videos auch gespeichert werden und dann on demand zur Verfügung stehen. Und es wäre blöd, wenn dann der Teil, wo Copyright geschützte Musik ist, gemutet wird und man nichts mehr hört. Und vielleicht ausgerechnet an einer Stelle, an der ich was extrem Wichtiges und Nützliches sage, oder eine ganz wichtige Frage beantworte. Das könnte natürlich, das geht nicht. Jetzt mache ich hier seinen Sleeve sauber. Man denkt immer, man hat saubere Sachen, aber da lagern sich so schnell Fusseln drauf ab. Das ist Wahnsinn. man zum Beispiel auf einem Shoot mit einem Auto ist oder auch zum Beispiel die Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, da stehen immer so Karren rum und da ist die ganze Zeit eine Person damit beschäftigt, zu gucken, dass sie auch sauber sind. Dass da nicht zu viele Fusseln drauf sind. Die werden permanent abgewedelt. Krasser Job. Das ist echt was für Pedanten. Und andererseits ist es jetzt kein sehr anstrengender Job. In dem Sinne, man muss halt nur ständig auf der Hut sein und im Kampf gegen den fiesen Staub aktiv werden. Damit der wunderschöne Mercedes, der da steht, auch in vollem Glanze erstrahlt und es kein Stäubchen dieses unglaubliche Ereignis, diesen Eindruck trübt. Ja, so in etwa heißt, stellt man sich das dann vor bei Mercedes, glaube ich. Mir wäre es, glaube ich, ziemlich egal, wenn ich die Karre sehe. Klar, wenn sie dann irgendwie nach einer Woche komplett eingestaubt ist, sieht das nicht mehr so geil aus. Aber ganz ehrlich, das ist ein Auto. Die werden draußen sogar nass und dreckig. Oh, jetzt hat meine Katze das allererste Mal ein Getränk ausgekippt. Alles live. Großartig. Vielen Dank. Dann seht ihr jetzt gleich erstmal wunderschön die Pause-Animation, während ich hier den Kram beseitigen werde. So. Stream geht weiter. Alles beseitigt. Wunderbar. Es ist nichts kaputt gegangen, es klebt nur alles. Großartig. So. Da hätte jetzt wie besagter Autoabwickler von Mercedes seine wahre Freude gehabt. So, warum will jetzt mein Stift nicht mehr funktionieren? Was getan? Wurde irgendwas gedrückt? Hey. Kann ich mal malen? Hallo? Ach, Katze. Wunderschön, ja. Im Kanal gemalt. Kanal. So. Katze hat was umgestellt. So. Nach diesem kleinen technischen Malheur geht es dann auch weiter. Ja, genau. Also es gibt halt echt die verrücktesten Jobs, gerade in dieser Branche. Wo man sich so denkt, okay, das ist ein Beruf. Das ist auch nicht unbedingt was man sich unbedingt wünscht oder vorstellt, wenn man so in der Schule ist. So, ey, was willst du später mal werden? Ich will mal später auf Mode-Shows Autos abwedeln, dass die sauber sind. Kann ich mir irgendwie sehr schwer vorstellen. Und es ist kein Hostessenjob. Das ist krass. Das ist schon separat jemand, der sich nur darum kümmert. Und solche Leute sind dann auch in Film- und Fotosets und sind quasi Stylisten, die sich dann darum kümmern. So. Schön die Tischplatte säubern. Auch hier muss man immer aufpassen, dass man aus der richtigen... hier ist passiert, aus der richtigen Schärfeebene samplet. Aber wenn ich jetzt zum Beispiel hier sample und hier reinmale, fällt es auf. Komisch aus. So. Da fällt mir ein, dass ich ja noch eigentlich mal was von eins meiner großen Panoramen raussuchen wollte. So nebenbei. Das hatte sich mal jemand gewünscht und da kann ich gerne was zu erzählen. Also ich selber mag es tatsächlich auch privat Panoramen zu schießen, im Urlaub oder an irgendwelchen besonderen Plätzen. Weil das irgendwie man einen echt coolen Eindruck vermittelt und die Imposanz eines Ortes nochmal unterstreicht. So. Das looks doch nice. So, jetzt gehe ich wieder ins Gesicht hier und dann noch ein bisschen was. Und dann Muss ich irgendwie mal schauen. Finde ich jetzt tatsächlich nicht. Egal. Konzentriere ich mich weiter hier auf das Bild. Ja, muss ich wirklich bei Gelegenheit mal aussuchen. Oh. Das passiert immer, diesen Streifen, den ihr gerade gesehen habt. Wenn man zwischendurch mit der Maus arbeitet, man zurückwechselt an das Tablet, dann zeichnet Photoshop oder das Tablet so einen Strich. Das ist mega nervig. Und nicht immer bekommt man das so deutlich mit, wie das jetzt der Fall war. Dann hat man manchmal in seinen Retusche-Ebenen einfach eine Linie drin. Und wenn man Pech hat, sieht man das erst, wenn man im Druck ist. Und das ist äußerst ärgerlich. So, ich rasiere hier Vitali immer noch ein bisschen den Bart. Ein paar längere Haare. Die ich ein bisschen akkurater haben. Ich weiß auch tatsächlich gar nicht, ob ich die Musik im Stream lieber weglassen soll. Aber dann ist es so langweilig, wenn ich nichts erzähle, oder? Ich schweige ja manchmal, weil ich ganz konzentriert arbeite. So. Und hier ist jetzt das Typische, man fängt an, die Härchen wegzumachen und dann fällt dann irgendwie auf, es werden immer mehr, die man wegnimmt. Muss man dann irgendwann sich auch zwingen aufzuhören, sich gänzlich glatt zu machen. Was hat er hier eigentlich? Einen schwarzen Nasenflügel, warum? Hm. Mann. So, bei ihm reicht mir das schon fast. Mal wegmachen. Er darf halt ruhig so ein roughes Äußeres haben. Das meiste werde ich jetzt noch mit Dodge und Burn wegmachen. Hier diese zwei Fussel noch, die stören nicht. Aber sonst. So. Ich überlege gerade, ob ich das hier so ein bisschen auffülle. Hm. So, den Ring, den werde ich jetzt mit Zeichnungsfilter matter machen. Wenn ich mit Vorknöpfen. Und mit dem Rauschen, Staub und Kratzer hilft manchmal auch. Ja, das ist glaube ich ganz gut. Dann kriegt man die Kratzer ein bisschen weg. So. Rödel. Dann kann ich die Ringe säubern, jawohl. Ringe. So. Was passiert denn, wenn ich das auf dunklere Farbe stelle? So, und jetzt werde ich das langsam wieder reinpainten. Mit einem weichen Pinsel. Vielleicht 10% Fluss und dann kann man hier die Kratzer, die da sind, wegpainten. Gleichzeitig wird das Metall so ein bisschen gleichmäßiger. Das Schöne ist bei diesem Filter, dass dann die Kanten einigermaßen erhalten bleiben. So, und jetzt der Ring, genau das gleiche. Zack. Painte ich einfach drüber, damit wird es einheitlicher. Zack. So. Wie sieht das hier aus? Ich glaube, das wäre nicht gut, wenn ich dann da... Nee, das macht zu sehr. Aber jetzt das bisschen hat den Ring schon schöner gemacht. Super. So, und jetzt ist eigentlich schon wieder Zeit für... Entschuldigung. Für Dodge and Burn, oder? Schauen wir mal. Ich würde sagen... Habe ich da oben an die Augenbrauen schon was gemacht? Ja. Haar können noch weg. Jetzt ein bisschen akkurater aussieht. Er ist ein Mann, aber so. Das irritiert mich echt, warum er da so eine schwarze Nase hat. Muss ich dann halt noch korrigieren. So, jetzt kommt Dodge and Burn. Achso, da habe ich es doch schon. Mein Gott. Contouring und Micro geht das mal aus. Hier werde ich jetzt wieder das für Smart Filter konvertieren und weich zeichnen. Es hilft halt ungemein, wenn man relativ flott arbeiten möchte. Hilft dieser Schritt, wenn man das zusammenfasst und weich zeichnet, um die ganzen Unreinheiten und Unterschiedlichkeiten zu erkennen. Jetzt hat er's. So, da bekommt es aber nur ein Filter aus. 20 ist definitiv zu stark. 10. Vielleicht noch 5. 5. Sieht gut aus. Ich mache das immer ein bisschen abhängig von den ja, von dem Detailgrad einfach des Bildes. Da kann man kein allgemeines Urteil fällen. Und keine allgemeine Aussage treffen. So. Die Arbeitskurve ist mir noch ein bisschen zu dunkel. Ich hier noch den Light-Check an. Das ist zu krass, den nehme ich weiter runter. Und die Kontrastkurve werde ich in den Tiefen ein bisschen anheben. Das ist krass. So. Light-Check. Ja, vielleicht sowas besser. So. Und jetzt geht's los. 03. Halt eine Pinsel, 03. Plus weiß als Vordergrundfarbe. Zeichenstiftdruck ausstellen. Zeichenpinsel und ab geht er. Habe ich gerade gesehen, nichts passiert. Ich hatte aus Versehen die Ebene auf 3% Deckkraft gestellt. Da passiert natürlich nichts. Und permanent halt immer die Pinselspitzengröße anpassen. Ne? Und es ist auch so, dass man erstmal anfängt, die groben Schnitze auszubessern, die sehr auffallen, und dann wird man automatisch immer feiner, weil einem immer mehr Sachen auffallen. Das ist ein ganz normaler Prozess. Und mir geht es halt so, dass ich die größten Unterschiede eigentlich immer in der Peripherie sehe. Ich schaue halt irgendwie auf sein Jochbein und sehe dann so an der Nase, dass es nicht ganz passt. Das ist so ein... Nicht. Tja, und ich liebe es echt, bei Männern muss man nicht so viel machen. Es darf immer alles ein bisschen rougher aussehen, muss nicht ganz so glatt gebügelt aussehen wie bei Frauen. Ja. Ja, und ich hatte heute auch eine sehr interessante Unterhaltung, also Diskussion war es nicht, eher Unterhaltung in der Hochschule mit den Studenten. Ja, über Schönheitsideale oder das Schönheitsbild heutzutage. Und DAF hatte da so ein, zwei Spots gemacht zu dem Thema. Vor 11 Jahren war das relativ revolutionär, wo man gesehen hat, wie aus einer normalen Frau ein Covermodel wurde, was da alles gemacht wurde. Beim Fotoshooting das ganze Licht, das Make-up und was dann trotz alledem, die sah da schon echt super hübsch aus, was dann trotz alledem nochmal schnell im Photoshop gemacht wurde. Das waren tatsächlich auch Sachen, die ich in der Retusche nicht mache, also wie Augen stark vergrößern oder den Hals verlängern. Das finde ich unnötig. Es sei denn, man hat jetzt einen bestimmten Stil, dass die Augen besonders groß sein sollen und eher puppenhaft. Aber das ist ja dann eher Kunst, das sind dann keine Magazinbilder in der Regel. Oder dann auch da eher als Kunst gesehen und nicht als Editorial. Ja, und es ist halt schon krass, wie sich das Schönheitsideal in den letzten 60 Jahren geändert hat. Wenn man so schaut, wie Marilyn Monroe aussah, dann würde man heutzutage wahrscheinlich sagen, so, ja, das war halt so ein typisches Plus-Size-Model, ne? Und vielleicht dafür sogar schon zu dick. Und das ist ziemlich pervers. Wenn man sich das einfach anschaut, wie sich, ja, wo der Trend geht. Und auch das Modelleben ist dadurch natürlich weit weg von angenehm. Wenn man permanent darauf achten muss, diesen wirklich extremen Idealmaßen, ungesunden Idealmaßen zu entsprechen. Und alle Brands, die da versucht haben, dagegen zu arbeiten, haben tatsächlich so Probleme bekommen. Also DAF schafft es so einigermaßen damit in Kampagnen, aber versuchen trotzdem meistens komplett ohne Models zu arbeiten. Die Brigitte hat eine Zeit lang normale Modelle eingesetzt, also normale Frauen, keine extrem dünnen, und mussten diesen Schritt wieder zurückgehen, weil die Absatzzahlen extrem in den Keller gegangen sind, weil sie halt eine Ausnahme dargestellt haben. Da hat man halt die Reihe von Magazinen gesehen, die alle auf Hochglanz retuschiert waren, und dann halt ein Brigitte-Cover, das auch super retuschiert gemacht war, aber es hat quasi im Vergleich ist nach hinten gerutscht. Und deswegen mussten sie wieder umstellen. Und meine Meinung ist, dass man diesen Trend, der sich über die letzten 60 Jahre so entwickelt hat, den kann man nicht einfach mit einmal abstellen und sagen, so von heute auf morgen, wir werden nur noch diese Art von Modellen fotografieren und auf das Cover bringen. Das funktioniert nicht. Sondern man muss sukzessive zurückgehen. Weil diese Veränderungen sind ja auch langsam sind ja auch langsam gekommen, die ganzen Veränderungen. Es ist ja auch nicht so gewesen, dass es von heute auf morgen passiert ist. Und deswegen muss man auch so sukzessive zurückgehen, wenn man dann eine Trendwende möchte. Ja, und dann gibt es halt ab und zu mal so ein paar Trends, die dann dagegen gehen, aber die halten sich nicht lange. Und was halt auch eine Sache ist, das sind quasi die bei Haute Couture, die Entwürfe der Designer. Ähm, etwas, schon immer war etwas Elegantes, etwas sehr Dünnes und Langgezogenes. Und wenn man sich Modeskizzen anschaut von Designern, die haben alle sehr lange, dünne Striche. Und natürlich möchten sie dieser schnellen, sehr lockeren Skizze dann in der Umsetzung so nah wie möglich kommen. Und eigentlich wäre das Beste, da eine Skulptur zu schaffen, statt Kleidung, die einer Person sein soll, die absolut nicht realistisch ist. Also selbst diese, wenn man das so will, selbst diese abgemagerten Modelle, wenn man das jetzt so bezeichnen möchte, und die sich da auf diese wirklich kleine Nische spezialisiert haben und echt ihren Körper nichts Gutes tun, um so auszusehen. Selbst die entsprechen nicht dem Idealbild vom Reißbrett. Und deswegen ist zumindest meine Meinung, dass diese Haute Couture, so schön sie ist und so künstlerisch und kreativ, eigentlich dann letztendlich doch nichts an der Person zu suchen hat in dem Sinne, sondern dass es eher Skulpturen sind. Also zumindest in dieser Art, wie es jetzt aktuell ist. Was dann natürlich fehlt, ist die Begründung, dass man da mit irgendwelchen Reizen spielt. Klar, aber ja, und gerade bei Haute Couture hat man das ja sehr oft, dass die Sachen, die getragen werden, schon sehr skulptural sind oder sehr, also das sind ja in der Regel keine Kleider, die man auf der Straße trägt. Und nicht mal bei irgendwelchen Anlässen. Also nicht alles, aber das meiste davon. Nicht in der Form. Und das ist schon für sich eigentlich Kunst. Und deswegen, also Kunst am lebenden Objekt, sprich in dem Moment ein Modell. Aber da wäre dann fast die Frage, müsste es nicht fast andersrum sein, dass man sich vorher das Modell aussucht? Als Modedesigner sagt, hier, ich möchte gerne dieses Modell haben. Und, oder es wird dir zugeteilt, keine Ahnung, wenn man ein neuer am Markt ist. Und dass man dann quasi wie ein maßgeschneidertes Kleid und dann die Kunst an diesem Modell macht. Und so, dass es da durchaus Abweichungen geben kann. Na, verrückterweise in unserer realen Welt, wenn man einen Anzug oder ein Kleid haben möchte, was super sitzt, dann lässt man sich das eigentlich maßanfertigen. Da ist es genau andersrum. Da muss das Modell sich dem Kleid quasi anpassen. Und das ist ja... Eigentlich ist es ja genau das Gegenteil von dem, was Mode sein soll. So ist es ja dann nicht Mode für den Menschen, sondern der Mensch für die Mode. Ja, ist auf jeden Fall ein sehr, sehr kontroverses Thema und Gebiet. Und ja, ich unterhalte mich da auf jeden Fall mit Leuten gern drüber und bin doch immer für Meinungen offen. Solange man auch wirklich sich unterhalten und konstruktiv oder sehr offen und tolerant diskutieren oder reden kann. Ja, weil es ist ja wirklich so, dass die Sachen, die wir sehen, uns auch prägen. Und wie zum Beispiel jetzt in Frankreich gibt es seit ein paar Monaten das Gesetz, dass retuschierte Bilder gekennzeichnet werden müssen. Quasi so ein bisschen wie Rauchen gefährdet ihre Gesundheit. Ich finde das auf der einen Seite gut, weil man dann weiß, okay, das ist nicht echt. Auf der anderen Seite, ich weiß nicht, was retuschiert wurde und wie stark. Da steht nicht dran, ja, bei der Retusche wurden jetzt nur die Augen betont. War das auch ein retuschiertes Bild? Oder die Augenfarbe geändert? Die hat eigentlich braune Augen, die haben ja blaue gemacht. Hey Seba, moin, hey. Are you speaking English or German? Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I have no problem continuing in English, so we can switch language. So, if you have any questions what I'm doing. Oh, cool. Italian and Romanian. So, where you from? From Italy or from Romania originally? Are you from Romania and currently living in Italy? You have 1,000 questions, so well, I have 1,001 answers at least. So, yeah, start it, bring it on. And I bet the others don't mind that we switched language. Oh, cool. So, where in Italy do you live? In Cremona. Oh, thank you. That's kind of you to tell me when I can switch back. Stradivarius. I thought this was an instrument, Stradivari. Didn't know that's a city. I've got to look it up. Let's have a look. Never heard of that. Stradivarius. Oh. Well. Yeah, he made violins, right. I'm looking at Cremona. Oh, so it's in North Italy. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Between Milano and Bologna. I was just talking about haute couture and fashion. So Milano is quite fitting in that talk. So what questions do you have? How can I help you or teach you? I hope you like Milan. I've never been there yet. I've been to Firenze, Roma, and I've been to Sicily. And at the Amalfi Coast. Oh, how long I've been doing photography? That's not an easy question, because it all started around 2000. I used to be a website programmer and designer, and people asked me to have pictures of like their keyboard or something like that, and that's when I bought my first camera around 2001, 2002. But actually I did not get into photography at that point, but I started to study multimedia design in 2003 and gained more interest into photography because I started to retouch, and I started to get deeper into photography to take my own pictures to retouch. I started with stock photos from DeviantArt and all these things. So around 2004 to 5, I started to get deeper into photography. I bought my first digital SLR, and after my studies, after university in 2009, I started my first own studio and had this for half a year, and then I moved cities to Hamburg, where I currently am, and yeah, and developed there a bit. And yeah, so it's a slow journey because I'm not constantly taking pictures, but nevertheless yeah, improving, I guess. Hope so. So to be specific, I started in 2005 to take pictures with a serious mindset. And I straight went to studio photography. I've never been a street photographer or anything like this. Yeah, absolutely. I blurred the image to help me, because if I don't blur it, I might get distracted by all the sharpness and the detail, and sometimes I lose myself and start micro dodging burning and seeing some things, and if I blur the image, just temporarily, I can see all the different shades much better. So that's all. And the black and white help layers help a lot as well. So this is just a small, a temporary step. Yeah, this image is mine actually. I took this in Berlin last year, and yeah, it's 1 year ago in October. This is part of a some kind of workshop where I hope to learn a bit more about a certain retouch technique, but it turned out to have no value for me in this particular direction. But I got many great input, a lot of great input for business development, and quite some people to network with. And the images you can find on my page and on my Instagram are all mine. So these are, I took them. I don't showcase images I retouch for others because often they don't want me to show them. Or they don't want others to know that they don't retouch them. I don't stream daily. In the upper corner you can see my schedule. I'm streaming on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, Sunday, so almost every day. So you can tune in whenever you want. And it's not always beauty retouching. Sometimes it's products, sometimes I will show some composites, but the composition work is often for clients, so I'm not allowed to show them, so it's sometimes just free projects when I do some compositing stuff. Yeah, you should. So, well, I think you gotta find your own path in photography and try what fits best for you. I know that I'm not a street or event photographer. I'm too much of a introvert in that kind. If a lot of people are around, I won't approach them and talk to them and say, "Hey, can I take a picture of you?" It doesn't seem so, but it's not me. I will be more quiet when people are around. But I tried it and decided that I won't do this. And if you try to do some fashion or beauty photography, just try it. It could be so much fun. And even if you have the experience that you don't like it, you can say, well, I tried it and I know it's not my kind of photography. Yeah, cool. Do you want to stream photo shoots as well, or just retouching like me? I'm not 100% sure if I only will stream retouching or sometimes even photo shoots, but for now it will be retouching. So, if you don't do any fashion or beauty photography, so what's your what do you photograph? I mean, there's so many parts or directions, styles. Ah, cool. Yeah, do it. Oh, you can post links in here. I deactivated this because of a lot of trolls, so... Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, you know, you did this what I cannot do. Because weddings are very stressful for me. It's like, I've been doing quite, I don't know, quite some weddings. I think like 15 to 20. But every time it's so stressful not to fail and to get that moment right. You can't say so, oh well, can we get the pigeons back? I just changed lenses, or the cut is full. That's, whoa, I want to work on an image with a person. It's more relaxed, even if the client is behind me. And you know that you're there for a job. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to go to people, approach them and say, hey, can I take a picture of you, or disrupt their discussions. So, yeah. Yeah. And every time there was somebody who had a good camera as well, and these guys will approach you and talk to you, and I don't want to talk about my gear every time I'm at an event. Or they try to compete with you. I always try to tell the couple that you should tell their friends and family to keep their cameras away, to enjoy the event. Because I know from my own experience, I've been photographing the weddings of friends, and I had nothing. It was like I've been at work. I haven't been a guest. So it's better for all the friends to put their cameras away. And yeah, it's exhausting. Oh yeah, you develop methods to avoid difficult clients. That's good. That's always good in any kind of business, to avoid difficult clients. Yeah, I've heard of really bad experiences from other photographers. Like, the bride came to them afterwards and didn't want to pay because, yeah, my mother hasn't been on any of the images, and the photographer told him, well, look, that's your opening dance, and your mother is where? At the corner of the room, sitting at a table all alone. She didn't want to participate. How should I get a picture of her? And so they wanted him to react the whole wedding and to create images, and he refused. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Never take pictures of events for friends. That's what I've been doing 2 or 3 weddings for friends, and then I just reject. I say, you can invite me. I'd love to be a guest, but please don't ask me to take the pictures. Because that's quite a huge present you make if you don't take any money. And if you take money, they will request more than other clients. That's so... nah. Hey, because I'm your friend, so yeah, but no. That's not how business works. And on wedding images, you can't spend that much time like I do on these images to retouch them. You have to be quick, and sometimes you have couples that just don't look that appealing. I'm very emotional when it comes to my pictures. and very sensible. No, sensitive, sorry. And if I don't like the, what to say, the attractiveness of the image, I will have a hard time to go over them and retouch them or select them. So I'm quite biased in this matter. And I haven't been in the position to say, well, dear couple, I won't take you because you don't look attractive enough. That's would be quite, you know, not nice. Oh yeah, 1,000 images is not joy. I guess so. Yeah, of course you develop skills over time, but like I say, that I discovered quite early that it would be quite exhausting for me to be in this kind of business. Yeah, I won't be happy with it. And I know others that are happy and are really good wedding photographers. And I just, yeah, I really, how to say, I can appreciate what they do. So. And I know what kind of job this is. And how exhausted you are after one day of a wedding. Oh, why do I burn this? You don't have an 8-hour day. It's like you get up as early as a couple to take pictures if they're getting ready. Oh yeah, but okay, the blur, well, I started retouching and had my original, these two folders used to be in this file, and then after I've been done doing the basic retouch, I converted these two folders into a smart object. It's just the original, and here are my layers, what I did. And then I applied the smart filter on this this object. That's it. So I can take it away anytime, because it's, like I said, it's a temporary thing. You can also, you don't have to create a smart object. You can leave the folders in your file and just stamp everything on a new layer. I don't know if you know the shortcut. If you press Command Alt Shift and E, you will copy all visible layers into a new one. Like if I'm here, and if I press on the uppermost layer, I press Command Shift Alt E, it creates a new layer with everything visible in there. You can do this as well. You don't have to put these folders in a smart object if you want to keep your file smaller, because this will increase the file size quite a bit. So, and if I'm done with the macro dodge and burn, wow, quite a bit. I have to apply some contouring afterwards, because I removed quite some depth in that part of the image. And now he's refreshing the smart objects. So, remove the smart fill, I don't need it anymore. If I'm done with the macro dodge and burn, Now I will go to micro dodging and burning, and yeah, go closer and look for flaws. But I don't want to make this image too perfect because it's a rough guy. So it will just be a bit. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You need to learn some biology or some pathology. So where is everything? Where are muscles and bones and tendons? I don't know how's it called. Yeah. And it will help for beauty retouching if you just stay with your makeup artist and look what she's doing, or research some makeup techniques like contouring. Yeah, it's easy to overdo with dodging and burning. Yeah, but the cool thing is you can always reduce it by if you're working with with curves, you can always reduce it by lowering the opacity if you've gone too far. It's quite cool. That's why I love this kind of approach. And always go back. And you will get faster and faster over time. Do you? I don't know. That might be a dumb question, but do you use dodge and burn on your wedding images? Do you spend this time to apply this, or do you use shortcuts because your clients won't appreciate the amount of work you put in these images? Because you know you have clients that will find a just blurred picture better than a proper retouched picture. So, what kind of music is this? Sorry. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it's very time consuming, that's right. You can spend like 3 hours for each image if you, even if they, I don't know how you work, but often, well, at least in Germany, if you make a documentate, 1, 2, 3. If you take pictures of a wedding, you will give them like 400 to 1,000 images with just a color look and some very basic removals, like I don't know if there has been something in the way, and then just a handful up to 20 proper retouched pictures. Yeah, yeah. And even then, if you've spent 15 minutes on 30 pictures, that's quite a huge amount of time. And that's just one wedding. So, if you have a really good season, you might have up to 8 weddings per month, I guess, so like 2 per weekend, and you can't have them wait for the images till next year. Yeah. And you're exhausted as well after one day of retouching 20 images. It's completely different if you retouch 20 to 30 images, or if you retouch one image. It's not like, I feel like it's not as stressful to spend a whole day on one image than to spend a whole day on 30 images, because it feels like pressure all the time. Okay, finish this one, you need another one, there are still 28 left, okay, there's still 20, it's already new, You gotta keep pushing. If you're working on one image, you can like take shortcuts. Say, okay, that's enough now. I remove these two hair strands, and that's it. But you can't do this if you have to do like a whole series of images. Yeah, so it's a whole week. That's 1 day taking pictures, 4 days of post-production, plus I guess you will have meetings with them before, like 1 or 2, or at least call them and talk to them. That's time you have to prepare for the wedding. So it's more or less, I guess, 1 week for one wedding. So like 7 days. And people don't see this. They think, well, he earns like blah 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 thousands of euros per wedding for a few hours of taking pictures. So nope. You're working like it's a season, and you're not working every day of the you're working every day of the week, but you get only get paid for the event. And have to spend a lot of time afterwards. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You must be rich, right? You're driving a Ferrari and having like lots of penthouses and or like, I don't know, people just won't, because today everyone can grab a camera and press the shutter, which doesn't mean that you can make good pictures, take good pictures. But people often don't see this. Yeah, right. That's what I mean. I think so. Hey, yeah, you go there having fun, you're at a party, taking pictures, and you get like 2,000 euros. I would do that. No. No, that's not like it. And you're constantly under stress. Like, I feel the stress when I'm on a wedding. So, because you can't just sit there, relax, and enjoy the party. Because there'll always be people like, hey, yeah, we got this game, or we got this surprise for them. Be there, take pictures behind the scenes. Yeah, and then we will be inside, and meanwhile there's somebody outside. You have to take pictures of that too. Don't mess it up. And yeah, by the way, the schedule changed. The cake will come in 2 hours earlier while they dance. Oh, this is good. This is great. If you have never an unsatisfied client, this is really, really good. Yeah. And it helps to get new clients. That's often how it works. You've been to one wedding, and then they either people that have been on this wedding be the next clients, or the couple that you take pictures of will will be asked, hey, you had this good photographer, who is he? We're going to have our wedding next year. So. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really good to approach them in meetings first, and yeah, absolutely. It's like, yeah, stand there, say cheese, look into the camera. Well, you will have some of them often, but the moments that are the most precious are these documentary style pictures. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how it is in Italy, but in Germany people still want these family pictures where everybody stands in line or in a group, smiles at the camera, and you click the shutter. but this is just a small part, and luckily not the main thing. These are for grandmas and aunts and uncles, so they can say, "Hey, we have been at the wedding." But so if you don't like post pictures, then that's quite a difference to editorial fashion photography, because there the whole image is posed. Yeah. Absolutely, you will run around sweating your ass off. As I've always been drenched in sweat when I've been to weddings. It's like you're carrying your gear, you're squatting the whole day or jumping around, carrying things. You will feel the next day or the day after. It's best workout ever. And you have to go backwards, take pictures, and avoid to fall. There's so mean videos on the internet where photographers, like, they fall in a fountain or something like this because they were walking backwards. As Jesus. And you will always see them, when they fall, they will raise their head with the camera, because no matter what, this has to stay dry. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always happy to talk to others about photography, or to exchange or to explain things. Yeah. And to share experiences. Like now. I think this is great. And I think this is what all the streaming, well, mostly all of the internet is about, to put bridges between people. Absolutely, you can stress me with questions anytime. And I think all the other followers will appreciate that, because some are too shy to ask. I don't know when you have been here listening. I'm a lecturer at university where I teach retouching, and some of my students are sometimes online as well, but they keep quiet. And I think they're glad if somebody else asks questions. This is good, yeah. But it's hard to at first, if you don't know what you have to look for, you will find so much crap. And I've been all through that, thinking, okay, this is the best and most high-end technique to approach an image. And I had to learn that things were not the best ways to approach it. Yeah. Just I've been showing my students my first retouches on DeviantArt, and you can't see a pore. It's all blurred out. Just try it. It's really not that hard, and if you are a photographer and familiar with how a good photo looks like, it's easier for you to retouch. It's easier than having no idea of how light works, how images work, how people look on images. Because as a photographer, you already know what look you're striving for. And this is good, because then you can push your retouch in the right direction. And like I said, try to go to your makeup artist, and while she's working, look over her shoulder and watch closely what she's doing, because basically I am doing the same here. I am highlighting and darkening things. Oh, cool. Yeah, when I had my first oops, you're sending messages too quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, back to the WACOM. It changed my retouching so much. When I first had my first tablet, I must admit that you needed some time to get used to it, and still today I got my first WACOM like 16 years ago, and still today when I'm at university I'm using the WACOM Intuos Pro, and it's hard for me to navigate with it through your Finder or your Explorer, or to draw certain kind of path in Photoshop. I would always refer to my mouse because it's more precise, because when I push the pen I will always move it a bit, and therefore everything I touch in the Finder I move it. And I've been moving folders in the Finder so often, moved whole projects somewhere else where nobody could find it. So I will always have my mouse besides me and have the pen in my hand. But I have colleagues that only use the pen. Yeah, no, I think some people just do it and some don't. If I press it, no, I make this kind of motion and it will always be not dot, but yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe you should use the mouse as well. Well, it took, as I just said, I'm working like 16 years now with a graphics tablet, and I haven't gotten used to it. Well, some colleagues do, so they don't have a mouse on their computer. And every time a guy comes up, they are like, "Oh, what the hell? I can't work with this. How should I navigate through your system with the pen?" Yeah. Yeah, but switching to a graphics tablet will improve your retouch and the speed of your retouching so much, because it's you don't have to move there. You can just click somewhere and you be there. This will save some time. And what I could recommend as well is using some kind of, wait, I just see, I will switch to full screen cam. You can buy the WACOM remote, which is usually comes with the Cintiq, but you can use it with any graphics tablet. And you can program all these buttons and have your special keys like Alt, Command, Shift, Space. Have a brush there, your stamp tool, and so on. This is quite good. And you have the wheel as well, and some options you can define, like the buttons on your WACOM. And I have, just now it's detached because of the whole streaming thing. Just a second. I just bought a gaming pad keyboard, which is as expensive or as cheap as the WACOM remote. It's the Logitech G13. It looks like this, and you have 22 keys you can program, and all the keys have 3 modes. You have 66 keys, plus these 2 down here and a joystick. I use the joystick to navigate through my layers and to increase and decrease my brush size. And I have actions and whole macros of key combinations on this baby. And it's both of them are around 100 euros, so it's not cheap, but you will be much quicker because you can have it next to your WACOM, and you don't have to have your keyboard on your lap or besides it, and you can you don't have to jump with your hand to your keyboard. It's so much quicker. Yeah, you can use it with any WACOM. This is a separate device, completely separate. If I open my WACOM panel, you can see it here. That's the XpressKey remote. Hi, hey 9045. Hi. Welcome to the stream. We were just talking about the WACOM remote. Yeah, and you can define everything, all the buttons here, the outer keys, the inner keys, and the keys for the ring. And you can, yeah, just like on your WACOM. And it's a completely separate device. Oh, I had this discussion just the day before yesterday. I prefer the gaming pad because it's much more versatile. You have 66 keys, and the only thing that is different in that case is this ring. And I find that this ring doesn't work as good as on the WACOM Intus. It seems like if you're increasing your brush size, you stop going around, and it will keep 1 or 2 notches turning. It's a touch, it doesn't turn, but it's a touch sensitive surface. And it feels like it doesn't stop if you stop. So it's kind of wonky. So I prefer the big pad, and I have it next to my WACOM, and it feels just very ergonomic and easy to use. Yeah, and it's much more configurable because of 66 keys. Yeah, sometimes these rings are, I don't know what they did with WACOM. Maybe we are used to very abrupt changes on our touch devices, like on your phone or your tablet. And maybe these things work differently, so... I should change game to IRL. Well, usually I'm working in creative because I'm retouching. Sorry, I will switch back to Photoshop streaming. Sorry. I just switched to the large camera to show the gear. Yeah. So it's not IRL. Yeah, I would go for the gamepad, but you can try it for yourself. You can order this at Amazon and load up. So 9045, what are you doing? Sorry that I confused you with my IRL chat or stream. So I will keep retouching the Vitaly. Tonight I'm almost done. I've already done some dodging and burning here, and now starting some micro dodging and burning, and will later contour him. It's the second image of this series. I've already done another one a few days ago on request by him. The shooting has been like 1 year ago. So currently I'm working on his nose, using these pores a bit because they are quite intense. But I'm trying to keep this quite rough as well. Don't want him to be too sleek. So, but it depends. Sometimes like 2 hours. That could be also up to 16 hours. Depends really on the image and what I have to do, if I maybe have to combine different images, and if there are some really bad problems I have to approach. Sometimes I'm just not satisfied with the outcome and start all over again. This happens as well. Sometimes I struggle with the right color grading at the end, and I will put the image aside and have a look at it a few days later. Hey buddy, I've been talking in a full screen webcam just a few minutes ago, so I guess you thought I should switch to IRL. Not been showing any retouch at that moment. Just talking about the WACOM remote and the gamepad. I should do reviews, I think. So WACOM can send me their new cool stuff like the companion or mobile studio. Well, I do free work for my portfolio, and sure, why not? I always think about, so will this improve my portfolio, or is this a project which is interesting for me? Will it be fun or will it be stress? If it will be stress, I won't do it. Not for free. But if I think, well, I'm gonna try, like, I don't know, some kind of commercial photography, and I have a model which fits, I would do some free work. But I will not do free work for clients. This is something completely different. Someone approaches me, hey, can you shoot me for my YouTube, Instagram, whatever, or for my fitness fashion brand. I won't do this for free. I know, burn that fly. What a stress-free country. Ah, I doubt that. Germany is not that stress-free, but yeah. So. Yeah, absolutely. No free work for somebody who wants to commercially use it. Never. Because if you are a businessman or woman and you want to make money, you have to invest. Another thing would be if I believe in the future of the thing and will be part of it. But, well, this happens. This rarely happens. So for somebody, I guess last year somebody approached me and asked me if I would do some kind of wall shoot for even for men. And I said, well, that's not my kind of work, but if you want to, okay, I can try. And then I found out that this should be for some kind of what's it called? Escort. So prostitution, basically. That was like a no. Even if it hadn't been prostitution, if it was something else. If I know that they will make money on this, why should I work for free? No. So I will now approach his eyes and make it lighter. Yes. Still his hand is still quite dark here. So no, I use Capture One for camera conversion, for camera conversion, for raw conversion, because I like how this, how you can approach skin tones and change them. I like this much more, and in my mind, in my mind, it's a bit sharper than camera raw, or for Nikon at least. Yeah, I think I still am running the 8. Gotta have a look. Yeah, that's 8.3. That's almost 2 years old. Yeah, 2016. The thing is, you have to pay for an update the whole price. I think I'll wait one more release until I will change. Oh, I could have shown the approach to skin tones. It's just talking about. I got a 30-day trial. For instance, let's have a look at this picture. This one is not sharp, that's why I removed it. But you can see he has these reddish parts, and you can just go here, have your skin tone, pick a skin tone. Now you can push it together and remove the reddishness. So that's so easy to remove red ears, eyes, blushes. You have to be aware of the lips. As you can see, I removed some red of the lips. But you can work with layers in this one, and this is so much better than in camera raw. You have to make several raw developments. Yeah, that's easy as fuck. And here's the window where you can work with layers. No, not this one, this one. I can just add the layer and can say skin. I have my skin tone. And I have to paint in the mask. Sorry, it works the other way around. These invert mask. So, and now I can paint, remove some of the mask. Oh no, sorry. This one. I can remove the mask here. That's so cool that you can work with layers in a raw converter. Easy. And of course you can apply all these settings to another image and so on. And it's much faster in export than Lightroom is, which is basically the Adobe Camera Raw. So back to Photoshop. And as I said, I think that the crispness or sharpness is a bit better than with ACR. So the eyes, I want to approach the eyes yet. Some dodging. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go to RAW. And the magnificent thing is you can shoot into camera into Capture One. Well, that's more for beauty and fashion photography. But you can already apply an overlay of your magazine cover. Do I have it somewhere? I don't know. Gotta look for it. I always forget about. Oh yeah, it's an overlay. You can use a Photoshop or PNG or TIFF. Yeah, where is it? Where do I have it? Yeah, I should keep this somewhere where I can find it. Not here, why? Better look in my finder. Let's see, maybe I can find it, because it's really cool. You can, if you have already a layout of your magazine you're shooting for or something like this, you can apply it and see if the image fits. Example cover, there it is. Where are you? Just okay. Yeah. Can't find it. There it is. Damn. Ah, it doesn't open PSDs. You need to have a PNG. Or let's have a look. Yeah, like this. You can have this. Let's have a PNG and export this to photography. There it is. And now you have your overlay, and you can say how much opacity it should have. So now you can see, well, this image doesn't fit. Does this fit? Yeah, this could fit. And so on. Well, this would fit perfectly, but just saying. Well, it's not sharp. Yeah. So back to the eyes. So this feature is really useful in Capture One, I think. Apply this. Yeah, to absolutely to impress the client. It would be nice if you like shooting for L and already have an L cover in there, just pre-made. So like, they would. I think they would love it. Yeah, I use some pre-made actions for my retouching layers. I have these touch and burn. Come on, these touch and burn layers. I have an action for like touch and burn curves. It's like I have all these actions. Like most of them, like down to here. These are my basic retouch actions, like retouching setup. I create check layers, which during that touch setup will set up the check layers, will set up the DNB curves. Yeah, and these are several things like luminosity masks, several luminosity masks. Two kind of frequency separations I rarely use. I create a smart object. Because I don't want to create all these layers. I use so many of them, I don't want to create them ever, always from scratch. Now I'm just adding some detail, fake detail into his eyes. So it's an illusion of detail that hasn't been captured.
With my eyes open wide, I can see it's the
end. It's not the same. Yeah, I get this asked a lot. Basically, it seems the same. But yeah, question 20. You have a list of this, so I can prepare next time. Basically, if you use a gray layer on white soft light, and you use basically you don't need a gray layer per se. You can also use just an empty layer and paint with black and white, for instance. If you use this, it's less. Come on, why are you? Where is my focus? If you dodge and burn this way, it seems to work. But you will, with dodging and burning, you will move colors, you will shift colors and saturation. And if you want to remove it, it's easier if you already have a mask like this. And you can see I have hue saturation layers. These are hue saturation layers clipped to my burn layers and my dodge layers with some presets. And they have to be adjusted each time. But basically, I already have the correct setup. If you have a gray layer, you cannot clip a hue saturation layer to this to approach this problem. I will see if I can provoke it. I'll have. Let's do this again. Burning. Why aren't you? Ah, yeah, sorry. Touching and burning. Till the end. I will just move to black, that's easier. Black and white. So you change the saturation with this. Now if you want to desaturate this or saturate it, then it's hard. You have to repaint it. So here's still some color shifts which already have been there at the beginning, have to be fixed. So, but I will start contouring anyway. Sorry for being tired. I haven't been sleeping last night like well. I don't know why. Right, this has been too harsh. Try to darken his hairline a bit to give the whole forehead more of a contour. And I've been removing this with my, as you can tell, with my macro dodging and burning. So I have to add it again. I always switch between switch these layers on and off to see what I have done. But sometimes these changes are so subtle. This was not subtle. These changes are so subtle you don't see them right away. I'm trying to I always use a blank layer for cloning. I go back to my retouch. I find this the better approach, because this way I feel like I can have more, have more influence. This is my healing layer. It's a blank layer. And I know I could do the same with just a copy. Yeah, I don't know, for me it's a better way to work with this. Because sometimes I like to reduce it a bit if I've done too much. I know I could do the same with regular layers, but you know, I don't feel comfortable with this. Comfortable. I love what you can do with just dodging and burning. It's so amazing. How you can change everything. It's just a smart object because of the Gaussian blur I've been applying. Yeah. That's the only reason. It doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be, sorry. That's the only reason. Something. I don't know why he has a black nose. What happened there? And I think I will add some reflexes in his beard. I haven't been doing so much of contouring like this image, I think. Yeah, it's not much yet. So let's have some fun with it there. I want to even the hair out, the beard and so on, and therefore I will use dodge and burn as well. It's so funny how you can change a hairstyle using this technique. Like you see this bright light here. If I apply, I have to turn it to approach it in a better way. That's some kind of highlight. Just want to smooth it out a bit. And then add a shadow. Where to use it? It can look like there is some kind of cut or something like this. And this is how I will change or even out the appearance of the beard as well. Like here, getting this a bit fuller and rounder. Just by adding lights. How did you create the gray layer with all the dodging and burning? Easy. I've got all my dodging and burning up here. And this is the image where I apply it. And here's just a gray layer. just a regular clay layer. You go to this, say color, and choose 80, 80, 80, or 50%, or 128, 128, 128. That's neutral gray, and hit OK. And there you got it. So I love to do this just to see what I've already done, or how less. That's not how less. How little. I would consider this like a macro approach to the beard, and then go into deeper detail just in a second. Like how this beard goes like this. Maybe I will emphasize this. I don't like it. Shiny beard. That's the opposite of Mr. Blackbeard. This is already at its limit, so I will duplicate this, clear it, and a new layer. This part. And then might as well reduce it a bit. And now I have to burn. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that you love it. And I think it's just my second week. I've just started. Thanks to his already, I don't know if he's still there, Birdie McFly, who's been online. He's one of my students, and he was my inspiration to start streaming my work. Go into the micro Dutch and burn for the beard. Just the beard. I always love to group things, so I know what I'm doing. So I keep my layer list. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've just made a video about frequency separation. It could be a helper if you need to extract texture and use it somewhere else. But it's so, yeah, overused and completely done wrong. Yeah, it's the easy way. People always want to just click a button and everything's fine. No, that's not how it works. It's always a lot of sweat and blood, and yeah, a lot of swear words. That's how it's done. So now I'm trying to emphasize some of these errors. And if you click with Alt on a layer mask, you can see what you have done in this layer mask. just a few little highlights and something like this. To give it a bit more of a shine. So. Maybe I need some dodging to be evened out. I would love to watch you coloring on the images. Is this the final step, right? Yeah, absolutely. I will do some color grading at the end. I think I might be there right after this. I'm almost done. I've already done one of these images. I can show you this. It's a project. Italy. This one, a 3 gigabyte PSD, and you will see how the final image of this one is. It's a series of images, as you might have seen in Capture One, and the final outcome looks like. Just a second. I sadly have really slow SSDs in this laptop. That's the only thing I really hate about it. Yeah, see, yeah, that's how I ended up with the first one. That's before, after. Yeah, you told me that you need to learn some biology, and to be honest, I use Liquify really in a small amount. Here's Liquify. The only thing I changed is his shoulder and the hair. Okay, he will render them now. That's so annoying. Yeah, the bending is because of the stream. Yeah, it's a compression rate. And that's the before. Now he has a lot of hair. I might add some more, like the whole mane, like a lion. Less hair. I think they will look nice next to each other. So, what have I done? Adding some lights. I usually, if I do a series, I just copy these things over and apply another mask. That's it. Like, I have the mask creation here, where I created the mask of him, and I will do the same in the other image, and then oh, I totally forgot that I just saw. I added some dodging and burning on his suit as well to make it a bit more shiny. Oh, thanks for the execution. Yeah, thank you. He became a friend afterwards. Yeah, we stay in contact. And he's a hairdresser and barber, and he's a really funny guy. And as you can tell, he's a Russian, and I have some other images of him where he really looks like An old Russian. Let's have a look. 2016. Output. Done. This is him as well. That's him as well. Shaved his beard. Yeah, frequency separation works really well on clothes because there you don't blur any stuff. And I have another one. Don't know which of these. Huh? Maybe this. You know. That's this one. It's all blurry because I took some Scotch tape and taped the lens. This is the developed raw image. There's no there's no Photoshop so far. Yeah, that's the same guy. All these three images, and I think in this image he looks like the Russian bear hunter from 1905, like this. Yeah, and I really like this beard in this. He reminds me of, do you know the movie Gangs of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio? And the other guy, his enemy, he looked like this, I think. The beard is almost like this. And afterwards he shaved completely, and he looked so different. But he's grown a full beard back. That's not been a year, so... Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So I think I will copy these color effects over to apply them. But I can target to these in detail on another stream if you want to. So don't worry. So. First thing I will do. Yeah, maybe I will copy these back to this this file to create a smart object. Only got it. Or just move this over. Now I move the dodge and burn layers to the smart object. The other one. Does it fit? I don't know. Oh. Into the wrong one. Retouch. Yeah, I like the movie. This was actually the first movie where I thought, oh my god, with Leonardo DiCaprio, and then I was like, okay, wow. Oh damn. Has an offset. Why? Because of what happened? Jesus. Okay, I don't copy this over here. So I leave it here and combine this into a new smart object to apply liquify. Yeah, sure, you may ask. I'm 37. Almost 40. Yeah. And I really appreciate that you like my stream, and it was nice talking to you. So if you have to leave, so have a great night, and I hope to see you again soon. And you can ask all the other 980 questions you have left. Same age, hey, that's great. Best age so far, right? Cool. So yeah. So we see tomorrow evening. Like, yeah. I think you can see the schedule on my Twitch profile, and just in the upper hand line of the stream, yes, there are the dates, very small. Have a great night as well, and see you soon. Bye bye. So, I guess I'm almost done with this image. Now I will create a mask for this to apply it to my color effects. So I will go from this. Create a black and white layer. As you can see, it's so easy to create a good mask out of this. It doesn't seem so at first because of the bluish grayish suit. Turns out pretty well. Just apply some curves to tweak this up. Scary. So, just like so. Remove this. Put this into a new group, which is mask creation, and work in this. Create a new layer of these. Take my dodge tool, set to lights, and about 10% might be okay. We still have to be careful around the hair. Sorry. So I really try to be careful around all the hair to keep this very accurate. Can be a bit sloppy down here, because this part you can use a brush basically to convert this into white. But I will try to keep as much detail in the hair as possible. Now switch to the burn tool, set to darks, to shadows, again 10 to 11%, and go around the edges of your subject, like so. All the inner parts can be filled with a brush, which could be bigger. 100% flow, black. We will invert this mask later, because now if you're creating a white, this means this will stay and the other part will go. I know we don't have to invert it, sorry. Just want to approach the background. A brush would be nice. And if you can't tell if you change everything into black, we can check this later. You might see, I don't know in the stream, that there's some dark gray going on there. almost done because it's quite quick, as you can tell. All this has to be white. Okay, coming again for lights. It's a bit slow on these big images, the large images, but we'll get there eventually. And this is why I really like the Dodge and Burn tools. It's easy to get rid of all this, and you don't have to be too precise to work with this. So almost there. Come on. Looks almost done. Now we will create a color layer of any color you like. Copy this and put it into the layer as a mask. And now you already see, here are some problems. I might have to use my burn tool again on the outside. But that's not everything. I will use another tool as well, or another. Why isn't it? Oh dear, looks like this. Really? What happened? Oh, come on. Yeah, it's more like this. Sorry, I just got confused. Let's remove more of the red. So, but the better way to check whether you worked perfectly fine or not is to add two strokes. Layer effect stroke, add a stroke on the inside with like a radius of like this, like 10. Use a color you don't use in your image, and add another stroke on the outside. This was the inside, this is the outside, and another color you don't use, like magenta. And now you can see, whoa, that there's still some left. And you have to be aware that as you can look at this area, and if zoomed out, it looks cleanish. And if I zoom in, they get more and more. Because these pixels are rendered invisible by Photoshop because of the zoom. And now I will have to, and you can tell that you work your way forward by, because all these little things just tap in, no, they go away. Then you know your mask is clean if there's no magenta left outside the contour of the person. Let's have a 20 here. Faster. Might as well use a brush in these areas where there's no detail you can affect. So that's the outside, almost done. Just a few left, which I can remove with a brush. And the outside is always the pain. Just go along. Otherwise, you might end up having a uncolor graded last pixel outline. These are shadows, so don't have to be too precise in this one. These are still not done. Come on. Yeah. That's it. More like it. Come on. And now the inside, you switch your tool to the burn tool, and black for the paintbrush, and you go in there. And you don't affect the pixels outside. That's so easy and difficult to use. It's perfectly fine. And you can use the brush inside here. There are no pixels that have to be that you have to be extra careful for. Oh, I think I've gone too far up here. I will move this, copy it down here. No. Yeah, I've removed too much here because the hair is transparent there. So I will add a mask. Remove these. Move the other way around, and now invert the mask. And I'll put these two together and put it back in here. Sometimes you should just keep it. Yeah, here we gotta remove some hair. Right, but leave it in the hair up there, might be better. So just remove these effects, and now we have our layer mask with the color effects. And that's it. Add effects. These have to be moved a bit further down. Oh, Jesus Christ. And I think I've used some color cast removal in this as well. So I will have some color cast removal here. 6. Yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Now we're very close to this look, yeah? You can see this? And maybe some more on his hands. But maybe not tonight. I don't know, I'm tired already. It's now been a 2.5 hour stream, I guess. Yeah, what's been nice? Remove the saturation issues on his hands, maybe some of the banding issues in the background. Do them, and then we're done. We're done for this. And if you have any questions about something I've done or whatever, just ask them. Come to the chat or write me in a message. Whatever you want, Facebook and Instagram, email, or here on Twitch or on YouTube. I appreciate that. So, yeah, file's been saved. I thank you for joining this live stream on this video on demand podcast, I would like to say. And I think that's it. So have a good night and see you tomorrow.